Okay, now back to you. It's the same percentage, same premium. The lawyers will be more inclined because, see, in their mind, most big law firms operate on a pyramid system. They have the managing partner and the senior partners up here, which really don't have that many billable hours. But their projects, in the way they teach the juniors, is through the tier system. So you may have 10, 12 guys on the bottom, and then 5, 6, and 2, 3, and 1 or 2. And so the lawyers can more readily, I don't like to use the word overbill, but they can have more creative billing systems. So the law firms almost always are more inclined to agree to the premium. And the one 300% premium I paid was to a law firm, not an accounting firm. But again, it's in the finance. And sometimes the banks will ask you, well, why are the closing costs so high? And what do you say? The closing costs are what they are.
Difficult to do.
Yeah. I mean, they are what they are, you know. We're not in control of them. You know, we wanted the best representation. And then that's it. You know, then they move on. And then Kira will tell them because the lawyers are triple billing us.
Sure. Would they recommend the change?
No. Believe me, when you get down to that, the banks, the financial institutions, they know what the game is, you know, but they may ask, you know, that why are the closing costs so high? Yeah.
Could we rephrase that by saying that's what comes with the territory when you get top representation?
Yeah, well, that is. I mean, the top law firms.
To the trophy.
Yeah, it's like when I mentioned to our lawyer, Rox, you know, Steve Sussman is my good friend. Oh, yeah, they know that. And they also know that Steve Sussman is one of the 3 highest paid lawyers in America. Mm-hmm. And but I mean, he came out of Jaworski, which billed the shit out of you too. So he understands that where he is. They may ask you. Most times they don't, but they may. But again, you know, it's rolled into the financing, so it doesn't make a shit. It will be more difficult once you see one of their bills the first time. It may give you pause, but just remember, it's being financed, it's rolled. Now, when it really will stick is if, God forbid, you created the first 2 deals, and the third deal, I mean, the closing costs are going to be big. I mean, it could be mammoth.
Yeah.
But again, and we had a kid, stupidly, a few years ago. Somehow he agreed to an agreement that didn't say all closing costs are rolled, financed. All. A-L-L. All. Doesn't make a shit what kind. All. And he agreed to it, and somehow his fucking stupid board agreed to it, and his stupid chairman, who wasn't me, agreed to it. And then when they came, and then they didn't get financed all. They said, well, no, this deal is a $250,000 fee deal, and you're paying $480. That's too much. And so, I mean, I get this emergency phone call, you know, and then I asked him, what was it about? And he goes, fees. So I know it's not my fee because I'm not getting paid anything. So I took it and I said, well, you fucked up. He says, yeah, we know that, but now what? What do we do? QLA, Peña, what do we do? And I told him that the only thing you can do is go back and say, you got another hot deal right on the board, right? And he did. He says, well, go back and say that, can you roll part of this fee into the next deal, even though it closed, and they agreed. But I had a big iBank come here, fly from London to come here on a late November Saturday, and sat in the library where we were sitting last night, and said, Dan, can you roll your payments till next year to us? And I said, wait a minute, say it again slower. He says, you owe us $1.2 million on this. And I said, yeah. And he says, can you roll it into next year? And I said, sure. And he said, don't you want to know why? He says, no, but if you want to tell me, fine. And I said, it's just better for our cash flow management. He says, because our team is bonused up. We can't make any more bonus. Bonused up. Now, you don't hear that very often. Bonused up. That means we can't make any more money.
All the way around, you see more.
Yeah. And so I said, fine, I'll be happy to. He was an Oxford man, you know, but I knew when he was flying up here on a Saturday at the weekend, that he was either leaving the iBank he was with or something like that. He just wanted to know if he could count on me. That means, will you come when I go? But it was about the fee, and I kind of laughed. And I said, sure, no problem. And no, Kira, it wasn't in writing. I didn't sign an agreement. He didn't have a contract there. He just took my word that I'd pay him. But he was bonused up. He had done a lot of deals. And there was a tombstone outside my office that I did. Maxwell did the most fees with the bank, and I did the second most fees. And I may have told some of you this. We did when advertising first came out. When the Financial Services Act was passed in '85, you could now advertise as an iBank, whatever, here in Europe or in the UK. And so Maxwell and I did an advert for the bank, and we did. I had a penthouse at the Barbican at the time. I had the 54th, 55th, and 56th floor. Had my own helipad. I had my own gymnasium, elevator. It was a great setup. Anyway, so we did it. We filmed at my penthouse overlooking St. Paul's Cathedral. Okay. And he's sitting there, and they had started already calling me Little Max around the city, which I didn't like that. And he said, how much are you getting paid, Mr. Peña? I said, I'm not. I'm doing it for free. And he said, well, I hope that when the conversation starts in 15, 20 minutes, that you'll just sit by and not say anything. I didn't know he was going to stick him up at the filming. He wanted to get paid. I'm not doing an advert for you unless I get paid. And I want to get paid cash. So I just sat there, and I didn't say anything. And they assumed because I tacit approval, because you don't say anything, I wanted to get paid as well. But I didn't. And so when they came back a few hours later with cash, they came back with 2 stacks of cash, not 1 stack of cash. And I gave my stack back. I didn't get any money for the advert. And Maxwell was later assassinated, supposedly by the Mossad or by somebody on his yacht down in wherever he was. But a lot of the guys did that right at the close. Because what alternative do they have? None, really. Yeah, Maxwell was a piece of work. Little Max, he liked the penthouse though. And there was 3 penthouses. There was Lauderdale Tower, Cromwell Tower, and I forget what the other one was. And the Lauderdale, we were Lauderdale Tower, but Cromwell Tower and the other tower, had telescopes. Because they used to look down and watch the girls. Not the Kuwaitis, the Saudis had one. And the guy, the head of the Cobor pension fund, a pension guy, a minor, head of their union, they used to watch people have sex from the other 2 towers, because you could do 54 floors all the way down, and the tower had areas that poked out, and all the areas that poked out around the tower were bedrooms. And so some iBanker said, do you know that your neighbors? I know. And he said that one guy's from this bank, he's the head guy, and the other guy runs the pension fund for the coal. And he said, and so the next time he came with a pair of binoculars, and I looked across. And sure shit, they got telescopes in the other 2 towers, and they used to watch people. But there's no way that the Saudis could afford it easy, but I mean, there's no way that the head of the Coboard pension fund could afford that penthouse. There's no fucking way. He made like 24,000 pounds a year, but he was there on pension money, and that's Arthur Scargill was his name. Just thought of it, Arthur Scargill, a fucking thief and a half, and and when the manufacturer closed down the unions, they had to give that up, and some other pervert moved in. Okay, did I answer everybody's question so far? Okay, now who else has a case? Somebody was going to do it.
No, we have the same. We had big.
Well, I want to hear what your analysis is. Don't be fucking giving me that Russian shit.